All right, let's move on to your surprise of the year. And we already touched on it. I know it's got to be Concordia. I think people at the beginning of the season were saying, well, this is a team that finishes in the middle of the SAC, maybe a little further down. But absolutely a fantastic season, winning a state championship. It's like the fourth time you got to say it's Concordia.
Yeah,
but
it's Concordia.
It really is. When you look back on this season, in hindsight, it has to be the Cadets.
Yeah, no doubt. And if we want to go glass half empty, because I'm a negative type of guy.
Exactly.
Bishop Luers, I think, is my surprise. Negatively, had a good year, but anytime that Luers is not in the conversation to be a potential state champion, I think it's a disappointment, just because that program has set their sights so high and so lofty. So for them to struggle the way they did, obviously Ariane Neves was hurt at times, but there wasn't that cohesiveness at Luers that we were used to seeing, and it seemed like a lot of individuals playing football out there instead of 11 guys as a unit on both sides of the ball. So negatively, yeah, Bishop Luers is my surprise.
And I think Kyle Lindsay would agree with that. Like, I think he would agree that, man, he thought they were going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be very good this year, because you're thinking all these pieces come back, Bustle comes back, and yeah, you graduate Austin Mack, but Bustle kind of fills in that role, and then you have players with more experience around him, and then you drop in an all-SAC type quarterback like Nieva. Like, yeah, this is going to be not going to be cake in the SAC, but you're just like, this team is ready to roll.
Yeah.
And it just, for whatever reason, it just didn't happen. Positively, I also had Homestead.
Yeah.
Because I think you took a look at, they did graduate some players. The offensive line basically returned. But when Drew Kazai goes down in week 1, you lose. Anytime you lose a Division I quarterback and you've got a guy that's never started a high school football game now filling in, you just wonder, man, this team is really going to take a step back. They go on to win 9 games.
Yeah.
They go on to win a 6A sectional championship. Jair Wright had a fantastic season. And Jordan Presley had a record-setting season at Homestead. Yeah,
the defense improved throughout the season. I was very impressed with that defense. That's sometimes been the liability for Homestead in years past, but that defense was stout. And Jordan Presley, he's kind of overshadowed a little bit by the normal names in the area, the upperclassmen. But this is a sophomore who made the underclass 6A All-State team, compete with teams from Ben Davis and Fishers and Carmel. And here's a sophomore making that underclass team. I think we underappreciate just what Jordan Presley is to this program and how good of a player he is. And that was another missing piece for Homestead in years past, is they were able to pass it all over the place, couldn't run the football. Now they have a guy like Jordan Presley and a very good offensive line. Hopefully they can replace guys like Grant Purley, but an offensive line that was very good as well in the run game.
Overall, how would you describe this season? Like, looking back, what would be the best phrase, the best term, the best way to describe kind of what we saw in the 2016 football season here in Fort Wayne?
I think it was a little bit expected, a little bit unexpected. I think the normal teams were up there that we thought would be there. Snyder, Woodland, New Haven, East Noble, teams like that, Homestead. But then when we got into the playoffs, very unexpected in terms of who was the team left standing on Thanksgiving weekend. So I think we knew kind of what was going on in the regular season, but I don't think any of us, at least in August, could have predicted how it would have ended. And it was definitely awesome. We love our Snyders and Dwangers and Luers, but to have somebody different playing on Thanksgiving weekend and the excitement and energy around that program and the community was just tremendous. And it was awesome to see them win on last Saturday. In Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, pretty cool just to have someone different. And I think the same can be said for Garrett. Is they've had really good regular seasons. It had been a while since they'd won a sectional championship, since they made a deep run. Obviously, a really proud tradition in Railroader country, so it was nice to see kind of a revival of that, although, Concordia did knock them off eventually. Still a great run for Chris DePue and the Railroaders.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm not knocking Bishop Luers at all. This isn't the Knock Bishop Luers show, because my aunt teaches at Bishop Luers, but,
You're going to hear about it later.
I am, but, they win state, it's another state championship, another banner in the gym, but you get Concordia down there, and everybody's down there wearing maroon, and you saw it too. You're tweeting and stuff out, and it's going all over the place, and everybody's liking it and retweeting it, and just the community atmosphere is somebody different. This is a team that's just notoriously not good at football, and for them to win a state championship was really, really cool.
And you're right, because you saw the SAC's coaches, you saw the other players in the SAC, like, all right, like, one, it makes them look good because it's like, man, this is our conference, and this is a team that, a 3A team coming out of our conference, we prepared them well to make a state championship run, and it was just, a real sense of, like, civic pride that
for sure.
Concordia was able to do it, and non-football fans and football fans alike, pretty proud to see this program, as you mentioned, that has struggled in the past, make it and put an exclamation point on the season the way they did against a program like Lawrenceburg.
Yeah, no doubt. Great capper to the season. Congratulations, Concordia, what they did, and they got to be our preseason pick for #1 in the SAC, right? Next year.
Well, I know they graduate a lot, but the beauty of that is if we don't pick them first, there's a good chance they'll win.
Definitely.
Because
See, that's how we'll spin it to Coach Tim Manigal.
We're always wrong, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Appreciate you coming by every Monday throughout the season. Our ratings skyrocket on Mondays
I bet.
when we have Justin Kenny sound bites. And
I bet your voicemail is just full of why are you having them on for another week? Come on,
I know.
man.
I tell my wife to quit calling.
Probably my wife too.
Yeah. I'm like, this is lady's voice. Okay. We appreciate it, Justin, and hopefully we'll have you back next season.
Hope so.
Talking high school football here on Wayne TV. See ya.